Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be rebuilding the Carolina Panthers, and you're like, what is going on with this receiving core? Well, I'm going to put Laviska Shenault in the wide receiver 1 in slot spot for the rest of the year. That way he can develop as much as he can. I love what he brings to the team in real life. I really love to see him come alive here. Jonathan Mingo will kind of take that step up next year. Adam Thielen's here for now. I don't know how long he'll actually stay on the team. He's playing great in real life and good for him, but like I said, long-term plans really don't have him there. Brian Burns is up for an extension this year. We've got a very off and on defense. Like, you have guys like Derek Brown and then Shaq Thompson, Brian Burns, JC Horn, all stars. But other than that, you're really looking at guys like Frankie Louvu, who's either nearing a contract extension or just getting closer to that age of regression. Shaq Thompson's also at like 31 years old to this point. So, oh, sorry, 29. Anyways, we got stuff to go over for sure. Yeah, we got a team to build here. So let's go ahead and start rebuilding this team, really get into it, and I'll sim and see you guys at the, I guess we'll go to the mid-season. I know we're already at week 6. We are at 0-6 now, so going unwind at this point. I don't know what I'm talking about. But Bryce Young, 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Been pretty bad. Rushing, been fine. Shenault stepped up, 26 catches, 375. That's almost 15 per catch, which is really good, and a touchdown. So Laviska doing his part for sure. And one of the reasons I simmed here to mid-season is to get some contract negotiations going. One of them being Laviska Shenault. I expect him to be here probably for like the rest of his career. So we'll just try to make him, fit well in this team and get him for cheap, maybe develop him a little bit. Brian Burns, big contract. This is like too much money, but we're going to give it to him up anyways. There we go. He's well worth the money. Jeremy Chin, I'd say he's worth quite a bit as well. I don't know if he'll take that. He does. Now, Frankie Louvu at left outside linebacker, we're paying him like an edge rusher at 26 years old, so the prime of his career. I'm going to change him to inside linebacker, and then we'll send the rest of the season, and then we'll re-sign him because I'm not signing Frankie Louvu on for like damn near what we paid Brian Burns. Bryce Young is superstar. Defensively, we don't really have any revealed traits. Then as far as focus scouting here, I guess we can go after cornerback. It just makes sense. It's a strength in the class. We've got it scouted. Just might as well head in all direction, or head all in that direction, I guess. Put all of our resources into one. I'm kind of just spewing at this point. To the playoffs we go. Can we go winless? That would be something. We don't even have our first round pick, right? Dang, didn't even think about that. That's gonna be tough. We only win 4 games, so that's something. Bryce Young, 3,512 yards, 26 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. Rushing, Miles Sanders barely over that 1,000 threshold at 8 touchdowns as well, 2 fumbles on the season. Receiving, Laviska Shenault is up over 1,000 yards on just 75 catches with 8 touchdowns. That would end up leading the team with Thielen right behind him. Hayden Hurst up next, and Mingo getting kind of involved early. Defensively, Frankie Louvu leads the team with only 80 tackles. That's horrid. Derek Brown with 17 TFLs, 10.5 sacks, and only 5.5 sacks for the newly extended Brian Burns. 3 interceptions for Louvu. Shaq Thompson, 2 for Burns, 2 for Dante Jackson, 1 for DJ Johnson, who I don't know how he was getting too much play time there, but 1 for Bell, 1 for Chin, 1 for Horn, 1 for Jamie Robinson. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Mike McCarthy, Coach of the Year, Cooper Kupp is Offensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year, Offense and Defensive Rookies of the Year, list as Bijan Robinson and Jalen Carter. Micah Parsons is your Super Bowl MVP with the Dallas Cowboys, coming out victorious over the Bills. And JC Horn, we will just accept his option. And then Frankie Louvu, we can negotiate with him as an inside linebacker. Can be a lot cheaper. He's 27 now, and I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to some sort of deal like this one. He's just not interested. That's unfortunate. We'll have to I'm not gonna franchise tag him, that's for damn sure. We'll go after him in free agency though. It's so mind-boggling how young Noah Fant is. I don't know why, but he feels like he should not be 26 at this point. We'll go after Christian Wilkins and Javon Kinlaw, so they'll both play interior defensive line, but I don't know. I just would like okay, well, we didn't, but I would just like someone to partner up with Derek Brown just a little bit better. We didn't really have anyone else on the inside, and I'm fine with the guys that we have that would alternate off the edge despite losing Yatir Gross-Matos, like DJ Johnson, Oregon grad, and we just have some other names in there, I guess. And you gotta be joking, I completely forgot about Frankie freaking Louvu. He is no longer available, and I'm not trading for him. God dang it. So we picked 2nd overall in the second round is where we start drafting here, but we will take a little look-see here at the board, see if there's anyone that would be worth trading up for that is like a for sure good player. I don't see anyone. These corners don't look bad towards the top, but like I'm just not willing to trade up when we can get someone like this. Daquan Terry down the board, LSU 6'1", 202. You know, looks good, solid athlete, nothing insane. A-man coverage, A block shedding is really weird, but B awareness, B catching, B tackle, B zone coverage doesn't look awful. And so I have just sim to our pick here, and we could use all the above, and I will look at this guard here. So Clint Anthony's probably the safest and bestest option right now. Yes, I did just say bestest. Despite my bestest, I don't know, I'm off the rails right now. I need like something to get me going, some good draft pick to keep me alive here, because honestly my brain is lacking. There's also this sick free safety, but I like Jamie Robinson. He's not going to be anything ever, but I don't know. There's just so many options here to only have that one pick and not to have anything to trade down with. Clint Anthony's a massive need, but I mean, there's this guy. Where's this? Yeah, Quincy Browning, Texas Tech, 190, 6 foot, B zone coverage. I mean, so tempting. Clint Anthony will be the pick here. Hidden development, massive guard out of Clemson. I'll take him. Only 21 years old too, so he has all the room in the world to develop, and hopefully we can find someone worth value in the third round. Missing out on a first round pick really hurt us. Gil Randall actually looks very good down the board. 6'2", 195, runs really well for his size. B awareness, B block shedding, B man coverage, C play right, B press, B stamina, C tackle, B zone coverage. Give me this guy right here. I'm gonna look around, make sure I'm not missing out on any generational players or anything. I think we should be fine, and I will just go ahead and take Gil Randall. Hall of Fame name, by the way, too. Only normal dev sucks, but the MSU corner headed our way. I'm gonna take this guy right here, Larry Hatchett, B man coverage, A zone coverage, B tackling, C pursuit. Not the best athlete, but that elite acceleration makes up for the lack of speed in general. His block shedding could be really bad, and that could really handcuff us with him. His hit power doesn't look great. He has like a moldable piece, if you will, that might be good. It's probably going to be around like a 68 overall, fourth round pick, kind of a throwaway sort of deal. I'll let the CPU take the rest though. Draft recap. 72, Clint Anthony was not good, but Gil Randall's a 77 at a pick. And then yeah, Larry Hatchett wasn't anything special. We go down the board, but Gil Randall, the steal of the draft, by the way. You got to be joking me to find that that late. I think that was what, a third round pick, right? So very good in my opinion. 78, okay, 80 overall, George Hawley. Oh my lord. And then Mark Dawson, 280 overall tight ends in the same class, Tennessee and Ohio State. Philip Spencer, Felix Murphy, Ricky Peppers, and then we have Gil Randall, third round, second pick. What a pick. What the hell? I just got simmed to mid-season. I'm, like I said, brain dead today. Oh my god. So that all being said, I'm gonna have to, oh god, I'll get back to you guys when I fix this absolute shit show. Hayden Hurst and Bradley Bozeman's enough to get me Joseph Osai. These are two throwaway pieces that I'd rather have Tommy Tremble starting at tight end anyways this year, and so I'm just gonna bring in Joseph Osai, still cleaning up the mess that I've made, and you know, it'll be done soon. JT Woods for a third, basically for, you know, cap salary or salary cap reasons, we have to put Blake and Pipkins into this trade. I just needed a third round pick. I just needed to rebuttal a little bit. We moved Jeremy Chin back to DB, back to free safety. What am I doing? Pisses me off when I can't talk or like give my thoughts out to you guys. But Bryce Young's our quarterback. Laviska Shenault will continue developing with Thielen and Mingo up next. Obviously, we've got an improved line now with Anthony on it, moving Christensen to center. Tommy Tremble will start at tight end for us. And then on defense, Chin back to safety. Von Bell's here. I was considering starting Jamie Robinson, but it's just not worth it at this point. We are 1-6, so never mind. I'm going to do that. And then Amari Barno, Hatchet, and then I wanted to move. I'm going to move Osai back up to left end and move Johnson out to, I don't know, one of the outside linebacker spots. And then Brian Burns is now a full-time edge rusher, or a defensive end, I should say, because he was recently an outside linebacker. Brown and Kinlaw, and then Gil Randall, JC Horn, and Dante Jackson, Elijah Ricks will make our good old cornerback room. So team's kind of a train wreck right now, but we're figuring it out. All right, I have the team all put together. Hopefully everything is all good. I got the depth chart set. Now we just have players I need to negotiate for this upcoming season. I'm hoping not to see too big of contracts in here. We'll try to give Derek Brown the world here. It's a good deal. We got it done. And Austin Corbett's back for the next 3 years, I think, so till he's 31. And Dante Jackson wants very little here, so I will be more than happy to sign him back as well. Simulate to the playoffs now, aka the end of the year, see how the guys finished around the team and I guess the league. We do finish close to 500, going 8-9. It's crazy what playbooks can do for you. Bryce Young finishing with 3,900 yards, 22 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. Rushing, Miles Sanders was fine, not great. Laviska Shenault was really good. Love to see these numbers from Laviska. Mingo probably should have been a little bit better, but still getting involved enough. And then Trumbull just doing what he needs to do defensively. 122 tackles here from Shaq Thompson, 88 from Jamie Robinson with 4 for loss, and then 11 sacks for Derek Brown, 7.5 for Brian Burns, 19 TFLs for 14, and then 11 there. Interceptions, there's just a few going around. All together, Gil Randall, the rookie, had 1. Move to the off season and scoot towards the draft and free agency. We don't get any of the rookies of the year or any player or coach of the year awards, nor do we participate in the Super Bowl. We'll accept Ikem Akwanu's freaking option there. Shaq Thompson, no. Well, Trumbull, I mean, if he wants to sign back for this, I think he's going to test free agency. It is what it is. We'll go after Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I'm just not willing to pay him more than $13 million a year, thanks to him being placed as an outside linebacker when he's not an edge rusher. The game's stupid and you can't really do much about it. Deo Adeyingbo, and then we'll go after Tommy Tremble for a year to prove it, and kind of on a prove it deal, gonna prove himself. And Deo Adeyingbo, same thing. I think he's actually on a 2-year deal though, and we get both of those guys and we do not get the other. So we're moving along here. Really didn't get the people that I wanted. This class wasn't too strong and couldn't really find too many people of need. And I'm actually fine picking at 15th overall here because there's no like good prospects that I really like here at the top. Just quite a few guys that could be good, but I need to do better with my scouting. I probably should change it up and keeping it kind of default. I haven't really messed with it too much, so we'll just go to the 15th overall pick, find out what we want. If we don't want anything, then we'll trade down. Ooh, Brian Archer doesn't look bad. Maybe his deep route running's not the greatest, right? But a physical wide receiver, 6'2", 227 out of Arkansas, runs in the 4.5s with elite strength, A short route, A spec catch, B catching traffic, B catching. Me like, but I don't know. This guy could be pretty bad at the same time. It's going to be a gamble either way. Let me take Brian Archer here and see what we got with him. I don't regret it yet, but we'll see what his overall and stuff is. Justin Irvin is exactly what we need here. A awareness, B block setting, C man, C play rec. D pursuit's kind of meh, but B hit power, B zone coverage. Give me Justin Irving at this spot. Not a bad pick in my professional opinion. Cortez Cook, another middle linebacker. This time just looks a little bit more well-rounded, but a little bit worse and not the bestest of athletes. He could probably be a little bit better, but at the same time, a little bit worse. You're kind of going for the same thing here, same player, but I was just kind of reaching for that hidden development. Instead, it still comes out normal, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. Running back Kevin Allen will be my pick here. Doesn't matter, like, really what. He's a power back. Just give me Kevin Allen, dude. I don't really need to justify myself here. He just looked like an okay player. I'll take him in the 4th round, and I'll be moving on. CP will take the rest. I'll show you guys the draft recap. 76 overall, Brian Archer, really good. Justin Irvin's a 72 and 72. They're literally the same player. Not all the way across the board. Obviously, they're not going to be copy and paste, but Kevin Allen's fine as well. I don't know. Really interesting draft class. Nothing that I'm real fond of, but I don't know. I guess we'll take our wins. And the team is still horrible. We still need to do a lot more and let some people develop. Bryce Young's contract's coming up. So is Ikem Akwanu's. Laviska Shenault, we already have on a really cheap deal for the next while. Jonathan Mingo is going to develop here. He's playing in the slot, so don't worry about that. And then Archer playing at wide receiver 2 next to Laviska Shenault, who I hope can start to really get stuff going. Adeyingbo and Brian Burns off the edges with Brown and Tuttle up the inside. New linebacking core, doesn't really matter. I'll still have Jamie Robinson as a sub linebacker playing over Irving, so it'll be Hooks and Robinson inside. DJ Johnson playing outside linebacker alongside Irving. Jeremy Chin at free safety. JC Horn and Gil Randall at starting cornerbacks on boundary, at least on the boundary. And then Dante Jackson here at number 3, but Gil Randall playing that slot corner, sort of deal. I don't know. Let's move with the team. We've got a lot, and honestly, I feel like I've done a pretty bad job through the first, 2 years already. Not great. We start off 4-3, which really isn't bad at all. We'll hop straight over here. And Bryce Young is third in the league in passing yards, a lot of touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Rushing, Miles Sanders has been fine, not great. Receiving, Laviska's amazing. Jonathan Mingo, amazing. Brian Archer, more than amazing. 3 receivers on track for 1,000 yards apiece, and all getting pretty equal shares. And 9 touchdowns for Mingo is incredible. But look at these numbers. I've never seen 3 receivers so similar through the first half of a season. So really, really good numbers. And Tommy Tremble isn't even slacking off too bad either, as he's doing a great job. And then tackles, Cortez Hooks, and then Gil Randall's actually up there. Robinson, not really. TFL's Derek Brown. Von Bell has 4. Brian Burns has 4. 5.5 leads the team. In sacks, 2.5 for Derek Brown. Interceptions, only 2 for JC Horn and 1 for Cortez Hooks. JC Horn will have a pretty easy negotiation ahead of us here. He'll be paid just fine. He said the offer is perfect. He'll be back. Von Bell, I'm more than happy to let him go. Moten, same thing. Tommy Tremble, probably bring him back at the end of the year. Shy Tuttle's going to be a little interesting. Then we get to guys like Adam Thielen, who's 35. Don't really care for the rest, and then we'll accept Bryce Young's option. I forgot to mess with my scouts again, so we'll just roll with what we got. What do we need? Probably interior offensive line. We'll go after that. All that just to finish 7-10. Not great. And overall, Bryce Young finishes 6th in the NFL in passing yards with 4,241, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Rushing, Miles Sanders was not great. Wow, Brian Archer might have offensive rookie of the year upside. 85 receptions, 1,150 yards, 3 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns for Jonathan Mingo. Look at this, 84 catches, 87 and 85 catches. Laviska Shenault leads the way in receptions, but not in yards. It had a lot going on just in general. Tommy Tremble was also pretty good. Defensively, though, I want to see big numbers here from the sacks. 11.5 for Brian Burns is still kind of meh. Step up from what he's been doing, but Derek Brown, 18 TFL, 16 for Deo. And Brian Burns has 15. Shy Tuttle with 8. 123 tackles for Cortez Hooks, and 116 from our slot corner, Gil Randall. Jamie Robinson with 81. He's really not working out. Nope, no offensive rookie of the year for our guy Archer. Instead, it'll be Braxton Royal. And Tommy Tremble will probably wait. He's gonna test free agents. What is wrong with this guy? I'm not gonna franchise tag him by any means, but dude, take one of my deals, please. So we'll try to bring in Jack Conklin. Bryce Huff will replace Deo Adeyingbo. Travis Jones to come in and be defensive tackle number 2. Andrew Booth will come in and just play that 4th corner, I guess. And then Tommy Tremble on like a 4-year deal, I will happily have on the team for sure after filling out the tight end spot for a year. Bryce Huff, Booth, and Tremble all coming our way. Travis Jones, we're in a little bit of a bidding war for, I guess. And then we also want a right tackle because Jack Conklin will slip out from under our grasp. I'm going to make sure to improve our deal here on Travis Jones just a little bit. Give him a little bit extra money there. Brought in Caleb McGarry to play right tackle along with Travis Jones after throwing him that extra money. Now we will have not a complete team, but a good team. We actually have the 9th overall pick here, and I'm curious to see as to what players are available earlier here. And like I said, I just need to do a better job with my scouts because I obviously haven't done the best this job. We'll go to the 9th overall pick. No one really intrigues me that I can think of or see at the first 9 or so spots. Doug Gentry looks good. I just don't think I'd consider taking him at 9. So I'll look to trade down. Okay, this Niners trade right here will move us down a few picks, and then we'll pick up a first round next year. And then we'll get that deal done. Move to wherever we pick. I think it's 27. Yeah, we picked 27th overall now instead of number 9. And with that pick, we'll just try to get this guy right here. It looks fine, not great, not amazing, and still can actually be pretty bad. But I will take my chances with Kenny Beasley, hidden development, great sign. He'll have a year to develop under Caleb McGarry as well. Paul Leno looks amazing here, this left guard, and then there's actually this defensive tackle right under him who's a pretty good athlete with B awareness, B block shooting, B power moves, C finesse moves. But since we just got Travis Jones, it's going to tip it in Paul Leno's favor with an aging, who's our left guard? We have an aging guard and Brady Christensen in center, so we'll have to we'll have to draft someone to eventually replace them. I think normal development, that kind of stinks. But moving on to next round. Oh, this tight end doesn't look bad at all, so give me Carlos Byram at this spot, I guess. Give me Carlos Byram. Hidden development looks like the right pick for now. Oklahoma tight end. There was actually a couple of people I wanted actually at this pick this late. There were some few guys that actually looked kind of good, but just decided to go with the tight end. This guy's upside right here, Greg Chaney, 6'3", 198. Might not be the best of athletes, he's not, but that A2C man coverage could be an A with him being a man coverage. So man-to-man archetype means that his main thing is man coverage. With that being an A to C, it could be a C through an A, obviously. So you're banking on it being like an A or a B, and that zone coverage floor still being a C, which isn't bad. Play rec is still pretty bad though. For a 4th round pick, I'll take Chaney. Draft recap, we get Kenny Beasley, who was actually pretty good, 74, and then another 74 overall offensive lineman, and then 72 overall Carlos Byram. Might not start immediately, and then Greg Chaney was actually still kind of fine. Team's all set and ready to go. We'll head to midseason. I actually did start that rookie tight end over Tommy Tremble, who I thought would be my tight end, but Byram just a little bit better. We start 5-2. I'm not going to get my hopes too far, too high up or whatever. Look at Brian Archer though. 10 receptions, 134 yards the last time out, which is really good numbers for him. He stepped up into that wide receiver 1 spot already in his young career. Miles Sanders, and then the share is actually going down, and Laviska Shenault's not getting what I think that I wish he was getting. Yikes. I'm gonna have to restructure a little bit to make this offense a little bit like it was last year. Jonathan Mingo doing good numbers. Carlos Byram's fine. Laviska, like I mentioned, underperforming quite a bit. 45 tackles for Cortez Hooks. TFLs look good. Bryce Huff doing a good job, and then 4.5 sacks for Brian Burns, 2 for 2.5 for Travis Jones, actually pretty good. 2.5 for Derek Brown, 2 for Justin Irving, 1 for Huff, and interceptions for Robinson, Randall, and Chin. Good start to the season. God damn it, I forgot to change my scouts again. I don't know what's wrong with me. There's a lot, but this is definitely a problem. Ika Makwano with 0 interest is going to be very annoying to re-sign, but I'm just gonna not lowball him, but just inch it up a little bit with a lot of years on the deal. That'll get it done. Bryce Young, dear Lord, help me. He was looking for a better fit, but I'll reconsider with more offers like this. That was a very healthy deal headed his way, and he didn't really care. So Jonathan Mingo, at 25 years old, I'd be fine doing, like, I don't know, something like this if he wants to, I guess. Yeah, okay. So Jonathan Mingo's back, 7 and 10. That is a bummer. Well, Bryce Young doing a good job. His contract, like I mentioned, is coming to that end there. 7th in the league in passing yards, 4,090, 39 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Rushing, Miles Sanders, fine. Brian Archer was really good. Laviska Shenault finished all right, and Jonathan Mingo was fine. So Brian Archer doing a great job getting out of the gates early in his career, really developing into someone very, very good. Tackles for loss, 12 for Brian Burns, 11 sacks. Bryce Huff was really good. Derek Brown was good. Robinson was good. Travis Jones wasn't. That's unfortunate. Poor second half of the season for him. Gil Randall leads the team with 2 interceptions, 1 for Irving, 1 for Chin, 1 for Robinson, and 1 for Hooks. Bryce Young going up to superstar X Factor just made this deal a hell of a lot more, it made it more expensive, to say the least. So we'll try to give him a little bit of money here. If he doesn't take this, he does. Might have even overpaid a little bit, but at that point, money's money, and you just got to throw it at someone like him. And I'm not going to get any regressing players back to this team. I think I'd rather just leave it and let it flow, because at this point we're going to let all the old guys kind of phase out on the offensive line, especially where we will have the younger assets in there to what am I doing going back to signing those players. Then we'll have the young players to step in for them. We'll go after Jordan Battle, Alontae Taylor, and Rashad White, players to come in and play roles that just need to be played, and if they don't, it's not a huge deal. We get both Battle and Rashad White the first time out. I'm sure we'll get Alontae Taylor one of these times, right? Yeah, okay. Alontae Taylor, Jordan Battle, Rashad White. I don't see anyone that I would like at this early, like at number 10. I have to go all the way down to like the 40s to see people that I wouldn't even mind having. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to probably trade this pick away, try to accumulate some sort of fair compensation to help the team. Done deal. Tommy Tremble, Jamie Robinson, Gabriel, and the 10th overall pick, the 25th overall pick, and the 4th rounder we have this year for Javon Holland and Devon Achan. Cade Williams is actually not bad as an option, but look at this free safety here with elite strength. Got a lot to like about him. And unfortunately, we just traded for one. So good thing there's still Daniel Cooper on the board, who looks like a pretty good athlete for his size with A power moves, B player X, C block shedding. Still a lot to like about Daniel Cooper, or Copper. My bad. Ooh, really love this. Amazing athlete and elite strength, and a lot to like, and still quite a bit to dislike about Sean Schmidt, but give me Sean Schmidt. You got some Schmidt on your face. Giraffe. To recap, 73 Daniel Copper, and then Sean Schmidt wasn't bad. Junior Kellum wasn't bad. Manuel Woodson. So yeah, we got some good players here. Some 70 plus overalls for our first 4 picks, and we didn't even pick in the first round after having 2 draft picks in the first round. So here's our line with Archer, Ika Makwanu, and Byram, all superstars, and then Bryce Young with that superstar X factor. They'll pretty much just run the team. Jonathan Mingo, Laviska Shenault, I'll continue to at least try to upgrade. At this point, I'm pretty much just done with Laviska. He's going to be a good number 3. I would really like a wide receiver 1 or 2 type caliber, like a Mike Williams sort of deal to my Keenan Allen, which would be Brian Archer. Brian Archer could be my Mike Williams, whatever. I just want better receivers. And then defensively, we were looking pretty good. Travis Jones and Bryce Huff seem to be the right options, with Burns and Brown on the other side. And then obviously we drafted Cooper, and he might come in and play for Huff at some point. But until Huff is gone, obviously he's just the better player. We're just going to play our best players. We do need some sort of outside linebacker. Hatchett probably isn't going to do it for me long term. Irving, and then Hooks is the only one that I really like. Jordan Battle, I really love, out of Alabama, right? Dang, I can't believe I can't even believe I hesitated on that. Right as I clicked his name, I knew. I was like, yeah, why am I second guessing myself? It's obviously Alabama. Jordan Battle and Javon Holland out of Oregon, and then JC Horn, I think is South Carolina. Are we just doing this game now? Yeah, I mean, look, these are all well-known players. All right, I'm not trying to flex or anything that I've got good skills. I know Shenault was Colorado, Chan was A&M, right? And then Young's obvious, and then Arizona State, Jonathan Mingo, Ole Miss. I don't really know. Byram, I don't remember any of these auto-generated guys, and I can't tell you offensive line for shit, except Ika Makwanu, who's one of the Carolinas. I think it was, oh no, it was NC State, which was the, I thought there was a Carolina tackle in the same class, maybe. I don't know. That was the one I missed. So I'm gonna stop now. As I mentioned, I'm not all out and above, and I couldn't tell you. Actually, Travis Jones went to a purple school, I think. But that could just because he's a Raven. If you told me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I knew that, but Connecticut, never mind. UConn, that's right. Anyways, done with college trivia. We'll be on our way to mid-season, see how this team performs, see how it does. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. It is the next day from the last time you guys saw me, so yeah, I'm not feeling too great, so I'll keep the energy up though. Start 3-3. We actually have a weekly award, and it is Bryce Young, 17 of 22, 256, 4 touchdowns, sacked 5 times though. That is kind of ridiculous, and we have upgrade players, but I'll worry about that on my own time. Stats and awards: Bryce Young, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Rushing, Devon Achan's been fine, not great, but fine. Archer's been pretty good. Mingo's fine. Byram's doing good. In Laviska, like I said, pretty much just kind of not done with him, but just not really playing in a supported role where I would really like to see him develop. And then I moved Jeremy Chin back to cornerback, by the way, because the addition of Javon Holland kind of pushed him out of that free safety spot. And so now he'll be playing the slot. 9 TFLs for Brian Burns, 8 for Bryce Huff, 5 for Derek Brown, along with 5 sacks. And then there's 4 for Burns and 1.5 for Bryce Huff. And then interceptions: 2 for JC Horn, 1 for Hooks, and 1 for Larry Hatchett. Travis Jones is just a one-dimensional player. Oh my god, he is good at stopping the run and then nothing else. So I just upgraded power moves for him. Rashad White, Daniel Cooper. I will upgrade Daniel Cooper by myself just because he needs to be better. We'll just make him a better block shedder. So we'll do speed. No, that's the wrong one. I'm such an idiot. Oh my god. We do make the wild card, which is really good, but we'll see the end of the season stats. And I forgot to look at contract negotiation things. God damn it. We're at 4,337 yards with Bryce Young, 33 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Rushing, Devon Achan was really good compared to what we've seen. He's not obviously amazing, but Brian Archer finished the season up again with almost 1,300 yards, 983 for Mingo, and almost 1,000 for Carlos Byram. Wow, look at him go. What a season. 9 touchdowns as well. Laviska Shenault wasn't even all that horrible. Still averaged just 0.2 yards less than Brian Archer, which led the team, and still has 6 touchdowns on the season. Defensively, Cortez Hooks and Justin Irving both over 100 tackles, and then 18 tackles for loss from Brian Burns, 14 for Derek Brown, 12 for Bryce Huff, 15 sacks from Derek Brown, 11 for Brian Burns, and 5.5 from Bryce Huff. And then interception wise, JC Horn finishes with 4, 2 for Hooks, 1 for Chin, 1 for Hatchet, and 1 for Javon Holland. We'll see if we can get past our division rivals, an 87 overall Falcons team in the playoffs, and we do pretty convincingly, 42-14. I'd say that's pretty good. Now this is where our odds probably aren't looking so great against the 49ers. Can we beat them? We do convincingly, 42-28. We'll hop into this one. Super sim to the end of the game now. I'll give you guys a quick commentary. Obviously 0-0 to the first quarter, and then we're ending this first half here up 10-10, and yes, that is the way that things will go for that first half. Seahawks drive in and get 13 there, and then we get 17-13. What is happening here? And it's a sack. Bryce Young sacked for a 6-yard loss. It'll be 1st and 10, and the Seahawks will look to get some going. 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, and then pass knocked away. This one looks pretty much over. I'll hop onto the field here with Devon Achane and his game-breaking speed. We'll see what we can do with Achane, who does a good job getting up the middle. Try to get outside compared to everybody else. And why does the fullback doesn't even care to block? He said, it's a F you. And we will give it to Achane here. Wrong decision. This one will be Seahawks ball. A very low chance to actually go out and do something. They need a touchdown anyways. So we'll see what happens here. Take a gamble. Yep. So 17-13 will be your final. And we'll be moving on to, I believe, the Super Bowl. Now we are tasked with the hard matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. We are 3 overalls lower than they are, which is going to be hard to stop, but we've got the best playbook in the game. Let's see if we can beat them. Same thing here. We will just end up simming to the end of the game. I'm not really going to hop in and play the whole game, obviously, but we are winning 17-7, and then the Chiefs will go down, score. We can't really do much with it. They'll go down and score. We can't do much with it. They'll go down and score, and we're looking for revenge. We couldn't. We lose by 1 possession, 17-24. We were getting pretty close too. Wow, Brian Archer is up to Superstar X Factor. We will just accept that option and put that off until we really can't. And then with a guy like Clint Anthony, I would like a deal to be done like this. It's exactly what he wanted. Now, this might be surprising to some of you, but we'll go after Vita Vea. I don't think we'll actually get him. Okay, never mind. We are not going to go after Vita Vea, but I'll put more money into Josh Sweat's deal. So we'll go after 2 former Eagles, Nakobe Dean and Josh Sweat, and we will get not Josh Sweat, which is unfortunate because I was hoping that we could bring him in and enforce the other edge of Brian Burns, and that would be that, but it isn't, and we are still just not getting interest from Nakobe Dean. We'll have Nakobe Dean. I'll give you guys that. And Cooper's actually Superstar, so that's really good. But I was just kind of in here to see what we need, and what we need is probably linebacker, like for sure. But other than that, like interior line would be fine. Maybe a tackle. Like there's not really a whole lot we need. But what we needed was players like Josh Sweat and Vita Vea. So I think I'll just trade this one away. Done deal. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th through this draft will get us Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm more than happy to make that pick, or that trade, that deal, whatever you want to call it. Done deal. Laviska Shenault, 2nd, 5th, and 6th. That 2nd's next year. We will get Drew Sanders to come in and play one of our linebacking spots. Done deal. Julian Conrad, the backup quarterback that they have yellow interest in, 1st, 3rd, 7th, 5th, and 4th for Quay Walker, who will come in and play another one of those linebacking spots. So Archer will still be our number 1 with Jackson Smith and Jigba there. Mingo, Achane, Bryce Young, and then we obviously have a young but fine offensive line, nothing crazy. And then Byram, who will continue to develop. Defensively, though, now we have Drew Sanders, Quay Walker, and Chris Hooks really cleaned up our 2nd level, with Jordan Battle continuing to develop, and Javon Holland being very solid up in the free safety spot. Jeremy Chin, JC Horn, Gil Randall, Andrew Booth, and Alontae Taylor make a very, very, very good corner cornerback room. And then off one edge, we'll have Daniel Cooper. Off the other, we'll have Brian Burns. And then Derek Brown, and Travis Jones up the inside. That is how it'll play out here. And I just got to move Drew Sanders into the second sub linebacker spot, and then we'll be all good to go. There we go. We start off 5-2, exactly how I wanted to start. Well, not exactly, but you wanted to start on the winning side of things. And Bryce Young doing a good job commanding a team that is doing that. 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, no interceptions, nada, zero, nothing to account for in that interception column. And then Devon Achane over here, 122 carries, almost 500 yards, 4.1 per carry, 2 touchdowns on the season. Archer still lighting it up. Maybe I should put Jackson Smith and Jigba in that wide receiver 1 spot, but Archer doing what he's doing is really good. 4 touchdowns along with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Byram continues to impress. Mingo kind of takes that backseat, and Achane's been spectacular out of the backfield. Drew Sanders leads the team in tackles, I guess tied for the lead, but has more solo tackles. So Drew Sanders really leading with 42, another 42 for Quay Walker, 35 from Jordan Battle, and then 4 TFLs for Brian Burns, 3 for Derek Brown, 3 for Travis Jones, and 2 for Daniel Cooper, who has 4.5 sacks. That is second to Brian Burns' 6, and 2 more than Derek Brown's 2.5. Really good numbers so far. Only 3 interceptions on the season from Gil Randall, Javon Holland, and Jeremy Chin. Despite the bad interception and turnover number, maybe we're still really good. 5-2 is a great way to start the season. We'll look at players ready to negotiate, and Cortez Hooks, sure, you could be in the long-term plans. Chin, Irving, Kobe Dean. So there's some players in here for sure that we'll have to negotiate with. So I did get Jeremy Chin, but I just couldn't negotiate with Cortez Hooks. Maybe by the end of the season he'll have more interest, and then we'll be willing to give him a little bit more money. But that move to outside linebacker gives him the advantage here because they think he's an edge rusher, so he'd be making a lot more than he's probably worth. I'll upgrade the players, then you guys will see me in the playoffs. We go 12-5. We actually get the first round bye on the NFC side of things. Just shows how low their standards are. Bryce Young was really good. 4,586 yards, 44 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. That is MVP caliber numbers. Almost 300 carries for Devon Achane. Almost went for 4 per, or I guess did go for 4 per carry. Almost went for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. Receiving, Brian Archer was spectacular. Almost 1,500 yards on the season with Jackson Smith and Jigba just over that 1,000 mark. 13 touchdowns for Carlos Byram. Byram led the team. Blocking, we really don't care. Quay Walker, 101 tackles. Drew Sanders, 100. And then 16 TFLs for Derek Brown. 13 for Brian Burns. 12 for Travis Jones. And Daniel Cooper, or Copper, sorry. 12 sacks. Leads the team as, I mean, kind of a rookie, right? But yeah, this is first year starting. Javon Holland, 5 interceptions, 2 for Horn, 1 for Battle, 1 for Gill, and 1 for Jeremy Chin. Our first matchup is against the Atlanta Falcons, who we beat last season. We can only hope to do the same here, and of course we lose when looks like we have the upper hand. So now that we don't have the now that we are the upper hand, we lose. It's just how things work in Madden. But it's like your team gets too good that they're bad. And that's kind of what it feels like. There's like an 85. Like if you're under that 85 to like 82 threshold, if you're in that range, you'll most likely be pretty good with a good playbook, Cowboys. And then other than that, if you get too high or too low, you're just not going to be good. But you'll have a good regular season record. You just won't beat any teams in the playoffs. That's what it feels like, at least. And Cortez Hooks does have a slightly more interest now. Okay, well, Cortez Hooks obviously did not want to sign, so we're going to have to go out and find him and maybe bring him in. Maybe someone else wants to come in. Who knows? We'll be going after Denzel Ward here in Cortez Hooks. I'm going to sweeten up my deal with Denzel Ward just a tad here. That way we can not almost like 100% secure him, but just have a better chance at him, because I'd like him to come play the boundary for us. And we don't even get Cortez Hooks. He wasn't kidding when he said he wants to be on a different team. Instead, we'll have to go after Zaven Collins and spend a lot of money on him, which is fine. I'm more than happy taking someone like him. He even has better pass rush ability, so maybe he can get to the quarterback a little bit more frequently. Especially, it's more common seeing that from the outside linebacker spot in the scheme that we play. So kind of still happy with that, I guess. We're as good as we've ever been here with Jonathan Mingo, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brian Archer, who I'll elevate to that wide receiver 1 spot. Good offensive line per usual. Ika McQuanu, kind of the staple on this team. And then Byram as well, obviously still just progressing and doing great things. And then, yeah, we'll have a big old loading logo in the middle. But Zaven Collins, Drew Sanders here, Quay Walker, Javon Holland up to superstar. Jordan Battle, Cooper, or Copper. Surprised he's not up to Superstar X Factor. Jones will continue to kind of just progress or play a role, I guess. And then Brian Burns is fine. JC Horn, Gil Randall, Denzel Ward, Jeremy Chin. So I don't know. I like to just bring in Denzel Ward. It just seemed like the right move. We need a veteran outside, and honestly has all the speed in the world. Just good. Wow, we start off 5-1. New abilities unlocked for Carry Light. I don't know who that is. Let's go take a little look-see and look for a Carry Light. It's a very interesting. I don't know where's Carry Light? Oh, he's our punter. Okay, never mind, makes sense. So our punter has a new ability unlocked. Good for him. We'll go to the league stats and awards here. Jordan Love leading the league in passing yards. Bryce Young, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Very solid year for him once again. Devon Achane up to 4.7 per carry. Receiving, Jackson Smith and Jigba leads the team at the midseason point, with Brian Archer trailing. This time around, he said, I guess I don't know what I'm saying. Drew Sanders, the most on the team by 1.5 miles. Where is Quay Walker? Why is Quay Walker so far down? Drew Sanders 5 TFLs, along with Travis Jones, Brian Burns, and Derek Brown all have that amount. And then where's our pass rusher? Where is he? What's his name? Daniel Copper. He's not like playing at all. What's going on? I don't really care. I'm not going to change too much because it's working, whatever we're doing. And then Brian Archer, like, sure, you might not want to be here, but wait till I give you this deal right here. Then you're going to want to be here. Exactly. He's here for the next 7 years, aka the rest of his career. He's trapped. Same thing with Carlos Byram. You may not want to be here. That may be what you think right now, but wait till you see the money right in front of you. Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is going to be a tougher deal to get done. And how much money do we have left after this? Actually, quite a bit. And Jackson Smith and Jigba doesn't even sign. Javon Holland, Drew Sanders. Oh my gosh, we have players to sign. Oh my lord. I actually managed to bring back quite a bit of the heavy hitters. It's just Jackson Smith and Jigba in the air right now. I don't want Zaven Collins. I don't want Jeremy Chin back. And we had to sign Drew Sanders to a contract way too much for him because he's playing an outside linebacker, and the game can't classify what is an edge rusher and what's a 4-3 outside linebacker. First round bye again, going 14-3 this time around. Quay Walker finally seems to get going, or something going on. Bryce Young finishes third in in yards. I'm gonna see if he won MVP last year, because I honestly forgot to check, and I thought that he might have a chance at it. And no Pro Bowl, league leader, passer, 2028 most valuable player. I think that was last year, if I remember correctly. Obviously that might be a little spotty. Rushing, Devon Achane was incredible, 5 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns. Very good season from him. Archer and Smith and Jigba both very solid. Byram was amazing, and Mingo kind of in that backseat role is amazing as well. Drew Sanders and Quay Walker. Wow, Quay Walker racked up tackles the second half of the year. TFLs, Brian Burns with 16, Derek Brown with 13, Travis Jones with 12, and Daniel Copper with 10. Big step down for him in terms of sack. Well, everybody actually. Can we beat the 84 overall Rams? You're gonna be like, duh, dude, no way you can't. Yeah, we lose to them, of course. Like, Madden sucks. MVP is Justin Herbert, and he also wins Super Bowl MVP. Very good for him. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. Nobody really strikes an interest of mine or piques my interest. That kind of stands out to me. Everything kind of seems normal, and nobody from the Panthers. We can't risk losing Jackson Smith and Jigba, so I'm just gonna give him a shit ton of money. That's just the way I'm gonna phrase it there, because that's really what it is. It's just a lot of money. And then I'm fine letting Chin walk, Ward walk, Collins walk, and Travis Jones walk. We'll go after Tyler Linderbaum, Marlon Humphrey, Deron Payne, Kenneth Murray, and Devin Lloyd. I just honestly can't remember how many linebackers we need, so I'm just going to try to sign both these guys right here. And then Deron Payne to come in and play defensive tackle number 2 for us, and he still is pretty good. Marlon Humphrey to just come in and play corner for us, just someone we need. And then Tyler Linderbaum would be huge on the offensive line, but if we don't get him, it's not a big deal. My signings, yeah, we only get Payne and Lloyd. You got to be absolutely joking me. So we'll be paying top dollar and trying to get Derwin James, Justin Madubuike, and Jamel Dean. We're paying top dollar for all these 30-plus-year-old guys that we're trying to bring in. We do get Justin Madubuike, Jamel Dean, and we did not get the last guy. Who else were we going for here? We were going for Derwin James, except he chooses to be a cowgirl instead. What a loser. So here's our defense. It's Javon Holland and Jordan Battle, who I tried to to get a better strong safety. Then Devin Lloyd, Quay Walker, Drew Sanders, Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Justin Madubuike, and then we obviously have Deron Payne, and then Daniel Copper, Jamel Dean, JC Horn, Gil Randall, and Andrew Booth make our cornerback room. And then on offense, we have a good offensive line that only keeps getting better. Ika Makwanu up to a 98 overall. I mean, it's an 89 overall, really. And then Jackson Smith and Jigba, Archer, Mingo, and then nobody really after that. Achan, and then we obviously have Bryce Young, Byram, and then I don't really know who our backup tight end is, or if the CPU is going to sign one or whatever. But the team is looking great. And I'll have to structure it differently, but we'll head into the draft. I don't know if we have draft picks, but if we do, you best know they getting traded. We do. We have draft picks for days. All right. And we still have quite a bit of some cap space left. Done deal. First, second, third, second for Talanoa Hufanga to come in and play strong safety for us. Done deal. A first, second, and a third. Gil Randall, Deron Payne, Jordan Battle across for Christian Gonzalez. All right, so here's the team, and I'm just going to go out and out of spite, I'm just going to go find a linebacker with superstar development because, well, it would just look better. Done deal. Devin Lloyd, 4th, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 6th for Justice. So we'll take a little look here at the offense. Bryce Young, Archer, Mingo, Smith and Jigba, Byram, and then that aging offensive line with Devon Achan. I don't know if I already said him. Then we go to our defense here. Oh, wow, this is mind-blowing. This is insane. Brian Burns, Daniel Copper make our edge rushers with Derek Brown and Justin Madubuike up the inside. Quay Walker, Drew Sanders, and Dion, or whatever, Justice here, the new addition. And then Christian Gonzalez, and then Jamel Dean, JC Horn, Andrew Booth, and then Javon Holland and Talanoa Hufanga. This is like beyond absurd. I can't believe that. That's not like a higher overall. There we go. They're a 95 overall once we actually head to the real season. Well, I just set the depth chart. Let's get simulating and see how well we can do. This is probably gonna be our worst season yet. We start 5-2. That's good enough for the best in our division, but not the best in the NFL. Bryce Young starts off almost 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Rushing, Achan's been fine. I wouldn't say amazing. Receiving, Archer has been very good, to say the least. Defensively, though, this is where we expect the big numbers and to see where we're at. Quay Walker, 43 tackles, JC Horn, 39, and Drew Sanders all the way down here at 35. 5 TFLs for Justin Madubuike, 4 for Brown, 4 for Burns, 3 for Copper, 4 sacks for Brian Burns, 3 for Madubuike, 2.5 from Copper, and only 1 from Derek Brown, and 1 from Nate Linder. Interesting. And then interceptions for Quay Walker, Drew Sanders, Christian Gonzalez, and Talanoa Hufanga. We actually only have the number 8 overall defense in the league. I was expecting it to be a little bit better, but that just goes to show it really doesn't matter what players you have on your team. If we were to keep going, what would be the players ready to negotiate? Oh my, yeah, we'd have very little money to do all this. I'd definitely not re-sign Brian Burns if we were like continuing with this, but we're all in. This is our last year. Brian Burns would be traded here, and then Kenny Beasley would be re-signed. Quay Walker would be traded. Devon Achan would be traded, Sean Schmidt would be re-signed, and Daniel Copper would be re-signed if I were to keep going. And other than that, Jamel Dean would walk, like the rest of them would walk, obviously. And then I'd kind of start the rebuild, if you will, the rebuild. Not the Rihanna rebuild, not to get you all confused. Let's move on and see if we make the playoffs. We go 11-6, and we didn't even get the first round bye. What's up with that? We actually have to play in the wild card. Gosh darn it. Let's see where Bryce Young finished, just 4th in the league. 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Rushing, Achan a little step down from last year. Archer was amazing. Smith and Jigba was very good as well when he played. Blocking, I mean, let's see how many sacks were allowed by one guy. It was actually Ika Makwanu and Beasley, the tackles, tied up there, and they played every single snap. And for some reason, Schmidt played even more. Special teams. Defensively, Quay Walker, 127 tackles, Drew Sanders, 107. TFLs, Justin Madubuike, 15, the new acquisition here. 12 for Derek Brown. 8 sacks for Derek Brown and 7.5 from Madubuike. So all of our pressure pretty much came from the interior. Daniel Copper was good off one edge, and Brian Burns was pretty not active. Like, he wasn't active too much. So Drew Sanders with 3 interceptions. Quay Walker was with 2. And then Javon Holland with 2. 1 for Hufanga, 1 for Gonzalez, and 1 for Alfonso Newhouse. We'll see here. Can we get past the Cowgirls in the wild card there? And we do. We're a 93 overall team with a 96 defense and a 91 offense. We are very good. We have a weekly award from the wild card week. It's Bryce Young, who didn't exactly ball out, but 2 rushing touchdowns, I guess, and 2 passing, 4 touchdowns in general, no turnovers. I guess that's good, right? But we'll see if we can make it past the San Francisco 49ers, and we do. And now we're against Jackson Smith-Njigba's former team, and you know what? We've made it this far. Let's see if the Madden gods are on our side, and if we can make it to the play or the Super Bowl without having to jump in, hop in, whatever. And now we're in the freaking Super Bowl against the Cleveland Browns. Let's see what we can do. Actually, before we go in there, I'd like to look at the final team here. So you obviously have everything that you ever hoped and dreamed for on offense, and then you have everything and more on defense. This is so crazy. Full superstar X Factor lineup, including even corner number 3, and then we drop down to, you know, Andrew Booth. But yeah, I don't know, this is quite insane. Here we are in the Super Bowl atmosphere in AT&T Stadium. It is the Cleveland Browns scoring first, going up 3, and then we go up 7, and then they go back and respond real quick, and they respond again, and it's 14-17, 21-17. Carolina Panthers 28-17, looking to close this one out. This one mellowing down. Carolina 35-17. Oh my lord. Now we'll see this shoe clock or not Arizona. This would be the Carolina Panthers offense trying to close out the game. Bryce Young takes the ball, throws it out to Achane with his game-breaking speed up the sideline. Bryce Young under center now. He will go ahead and just hand it off to Achane, who will conservatively take the ball up the field, trying to just chew a clock towards the end of this one. I'll just go to the end. And we have done it. The Carolina Panthers win the Super Bowl against the Cleveland Browns. Bryce Young cannot believe it, but that will be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and hit me and get me a like down below. Go down and hit the subscribe button. Also, go make sure to watch past content on the channel. It'd mean a lot, and that'll be all for me. Like I mentioned, deuces.